What's the biggest punch to the gut thing you've ever been told to you? Off, always making a show of hugging them extra tight. Remember, she'd whisper loud enough for me to hear, if Daddy tries to take you away forever, just scream for help. Lucas would start crying before she even left. I don't want Daddy to take me away. I want to stay with Mommy. The supervisor would write notes while I tried to calm my sobbing 5-year-old. Tried to explain I wasn't taking anyone anywhere, but the damage was done. Every visit started with tears and ended with the kids asking when they could go home. I noticed changes in Emma. Designer clothes I'd never seen before. A gold bracelet that looked real. New iPhone when she'd had a basic phone before. When I asked where they came from, she just shrugged. Brad buys me stuff. That's nice of him, I said through gritted teeth. Does Brad live with you now? Sometimes. He and Mommy share a room. Jake tried to get the kids' school records, medical files, anything that might show the impact of what was happening. But every request hit a wall. The school needed both parents' consent. The doctor's office had misplaced the files. Even their teacher, Mrs. Bell, who'd always been friendly, now avoided eye contact when I waited outside school. Then Jake's investigator found something. Brad Morrison had a record. 2 restraining orders from previous girlfriends, both with kids. A fraud conviction from 5 years ago. Identity theft. Credit card scams. We prepared a motion to submit this information to show the court who was really living with my children. Patterson shot it down immediately. Your Honor, this is a relevant character assassination. Mr. Morrison is not a party to this custody matter. Sustained, the judge said. Let's focus on the parents, counselor. Meanwhile, Maria started posting on social media. Photos of her looking exhausted, captions about being a struggling single mom and doing it all alone. Friends commented with hearts and support, not knowing I was sending 60% of my security job wages and child support. The garnishment left me with barely enough for gas and food. Richard showed up at my workplace the following week. I was checking badges at the front desk when he walked in, designer suit and all. Is your supervisor available? He asked the receptionist, loud enough for everyone to hear. I have concerns about one of your security guards. A potentially dangerous veteran situation. My supervisor called me in an hour later. Marcus, I'm moving you to night shift. Less interaction with the public. Sir, he's lying. I'm not saying you did anything wrong, but we can't have complaints. Night shift starts Monday. The night shift meant I couldn't even watch the kids at school anymore. Couldn't wave at them from across the street. My world shrank to darkness and empty buildings. During one Saturday visit, Lucas climbed onto my lap while Emma colored at the table. He was playing with toy cars when he suddenly whispered, Daddy, Brad hits Mommy when he's angry. My whole body went rigid. The supervisor looked up from her clipboard. What did you say, buddy? Lucas's eyes went wide. Nothing. I'm not supposed to tell. Mommy said never tell anyone. It's okay, I said softly. Even his rage boiled in my chest. You can tell Daddy anything. But he shook his head frantically and went back to his cars. The supervisor made another note. Jake discovered more financial bombs. Credit cards in my name I'd never applied for. $30,000 in debt racked up while I was overseas. Purchases at stores I'd never been to. Restaurants I'd never eaten at. The credit card companies said I'd have to file police reports. Prove it was fraud. But that would mean accusing Maria, and Patterson would spin it as more erratic behavior. My security job wages were garnished at 60%, leaving me with barely enough to survive. When I tried to access our joint savings to pay Jake's investigator, I found the account frozen. Maria claimed I was hiding assets, moving money to avoid support. The irony was brutal. I was living in my truck while she claimed I was hiding wealth. Jake's investigator had been watching Maria's gym. One morning, he hit gold. Security footage from 3 months ago. 2 months before I'd even come home. Maria, Brad, Carol, and Richard sitting in the gym's juice bar, papers spread on the table. The investigator couldn't get audio, but the body language was clear. Carol pointing at documents, Brad nodding, Maria looking uncertain until Richard put his hand on her shoulder. They planned this whole thing, Jake said, studying the footage. Before you even got back, the pre-trial hearing was a disaster. Carol produced photos of me at the shooting range, claiming it proved violent tendencies. It's required training for my job, I protested. Nevertheless, Patterson said, it shows a comfort with weapons that concerns my client. The judge ordered anger management classes before any custody considerations. Another 16 weeks of delay. Another 4 months of my kids being poisoned against me. Emma's teacher finally reached out, but not officially. She called Jake's office from her personal phone. I can't testify without a court order, she said. But Emma's failing 3 classes. She was a straight A student before. And the things she writes in her journal. She draws pictures of her family, but her dad is always scribbled out in black. Dr. Patterson, the children's therapist, took an even bigger risk. She called Jake privately, voice shaking. I could lose my license for this, but those kids are being severely damaged. The coaching is obvious. Lucas has started wetting the bed. Emma shows signs of severe anxiety, but my reports keep getting edited before they reach the court. We tried to get her testimony admitted, but needed a court order. Another motion, another delay. The deposition was our first real break. Maria sat across from Jake, Patterson beside her, court reporter typing every word. Jake walked her through the timeline, careful and methodical. Then he asked about the CPS visit. You said you were shocked by the videos they showed you? Yes, completely shocked. But you knew about them before CPS arrived? No, she stopped, realizing her mistake. I mean, I knew Richard was concerned, but objection, Patterson said quickly. Mischaracterizes the testimony, but the damage was done. The court reporter had typed every word. Brad started picking up the kids from school. The restraining order kept me 500 feet.